Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hope you are fine. Dear students, this lecture is for grade 9, subject chemistry, chapter number 7, and we will do the remaining questions of chapter number 7. This is lecture number 27, and I am your lecturer, Mrs. Saira Jamal. In this lecture, I'm going to talk about the extended question answer number 13. Electrolysis has a major role in electrochemical industries. Sketch an electrolytic cell, label the anode and cathode, and indicate the direction of electron transfer. B part is describe the nature of electrochemical process. C part is distinguish between electrolytic and voltaic cell. Let us do the first part, that is we have to sketch an electrolytic cell. Electrolytic cell is composed of a container which contain an electrolyte. What is an electrolyte? Electrolyte is a substance which completely ionizes in molten state or in aqueous solution form and can conduct electric current. The electrolytic cell is also composed of two electrodes. One electrode will act as an anode represented by a positive sign, and the second electrode will act as a cathode represented by a negative sign. Now, dear students, you know that at anode oxidation takes place and at cathode reduction takes place. Oxidation is the loss of electrons. So the anode electrons, the electrons which are loses by the electrode, they will move towards the cathode. It means electrons always moves from anode towards the cathode. That is the direction of flow of electron is from anode towards the cathode. These two electrodes are connected externally through external circuit, that is through external wires, and the wires in turn are connected to a source of electrical energy, that is battery. So the flow of electrons from anode towards the cathode will take place through this external circuit. B part is nature of electrochemical process. So electrochemical processes are oxidation reduction reaction in which chemical energy released by a spontaneous reaction. What is spontaneous reaction? A reaction which takes place by its own without the involvement of any external source, is converted to electrical energy or electricity, while those reactions in which electrical energy is used, electrical energy is required to drive a reaction, and that reaction is called non-spontaneous reaction, because those type of reaction which need external source to run a chemical reaction is called non-spontaneous reaction. Whether the reaction is spontaneous or non-spontaneous reaction, in both types of reaction, the gain or loss of electrons takes place. This means that this process is always involves an oxidation reduction reaction. Oxidation reduction reactions are combinedly called redox. Red for reduction and ox for oxidation. C part is differentiate between electrolytic cell and voltaic cell. So this one is for voltaic cell or galvanic cell. It is also called electrochemical cell. An electrochemical cell is a system that can produce electrical energy through spontaneous chemical reactions. While an electrolytic cell is a type of electrochemical cell where electrical energy can be used to create a chemical reaction. Now, in voltaic cell, chemical energy is converted into electrical energy, while in electrolytic cell, electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. In voltaic cell, do not need external electrical energy or external sources to run the chemical reaction. And in electrolytic cell, they need external electrical energy or battery or a source of electricity to run a chemical reaction. Other differences are spontaneous chemical reactions takes place in voltaic cell. while non-spontaneous chemical reactions takes place in electrolytic cell. In a voltaic cell, anode is negative and cathode is represented by positive sign, while in electrolytic cell, anode is positive and cathode is negative. In voltaic cell, electrons are passed from anode to cathode through the external circuit or through the external wires. Electron flow from anode to cathode. While in case of the electrolytic cell, as a source of electricity is also connected in the external circuit, so what will happen? The electrons are first passed from the battery to cathode, and then the chemical reaction will take place, and then the electrons enter the anode through the electrolytic solution. It means the reaction started from battery and then goes into the cell, while in this case the reaction started from the cell and then from the cell will pass through the external circuit or through the wires. Question number 14, state the substances which are oxidized or reduced. Give a reason. First part is 1 mole of nitrogen when react with 3 moles of hydrogen gas, it will give 2 moles of ammonia. So first of all, you have to assign the oxidation state to all the elements which are involved in a chemical reaction. So according to the rules of oxidation state or oxidation number method, the elements, the elemental form of all the substances, they have zero oxidation state. So in elemental form, nitrogen is 0, hydrogen is 0, ammonia, one hydrogen is +1. So we have 3 hydrogen atoms here. So +3, and definitely in order to make the molecule neutral, the oxidation state of nitrogen will be -3. So nitrogen atoms undergo reduction because there is a decrease in oxidation state of nitrogen from 0 to -3, and you know that decrease in oxidation state is called reduction. While hydrogen atoms undergo oxidation because there is an increase in oxidation state of hydrogen from 0 to +3, and increase in oxidation state is called oxidation. Second part is the reaction of carbon dioxide with magnesium to give magnesium oxide and elemental carbon. You know that oxidation state of one oxygen is -2, and we have 2 oxygen atoms, so -4 is the oxidation state of oxygen, and carbon will be +4, and in magnesium is 0 in the elemental form, and in compound of magnesium oxide, oxygen is -2 and magnesium +2. Now carbon in elemental form is 0. So carbon undergoes reduction because its oxidation state decreases from +4 to 0, and magnesium undergo oxidation as its oxidation state increases from 0 to +2. Next part is magnesium when react with water and give magnesium oxide and hydrogen gas. Assign the oxidation state, magnesium in elemental form 0, 1 oxygen -2, and in order to balance it, +2. +2 is for 2 hydrogen atom, and for 1 hydrogen atom it will be +1. Magnesium +2 and oxygen -2. Now hydrogen atom undergoes reduction because there is a decrease in oxidation state of hydrogen from +2 to 0, and magnesium undergoes oxidation because there is an increase in oxidation state of magnesium from 0 to +2. Next part is hydrogen sulfide when react with chlorine will give 2 moles of hydrochloric acid and sulfur, 1 mole of sulfur. Oxidation state of sulfur is -2, same like oxygen, because sulfur also belongs to group number 6 of the periodic table. And the oxidation state of all the elements which are present in group number 6 are -2. Plus 2 for two hydrogen atoms. So for one hydrogen atom, it will be +1. Chlorine elemental form 0. Sulfur elemental form 0. One chlorine -1, but 2. So -2. One hydrogen +1, but for 2 +2. Chlorine, this is up to you if you want to consider these two hydrogen atoms while writing the oxidation state or not. But the answer will be like if you're going to identify oxidation or reduction, you can identify it even by using only one hydrogen and one chlorine as well. Answer will be same. Chlorine atom undergoes reduction because there is a decrease in oxidation state of chlorine from 0 to -2, -2 for 2 and -1 for one chlorine atom. Sulfur atom undergo oxidation because there is an increase in oxidation state of sulfur from that is from -2 to 0. Next reaction is of ammonia and copper oxide. Ammonia, when react with copper oxide, will form metallic copper, nitrogen gas, and water. So let us assign the oxidation states. One hydrogen is +1, and for 3, you multiply +1 by 3, and nitrogen will be -3. In this case, we are not considering these two. We are not considering these three. We just write the for one nitrogen and for 3 hydrogens. Copper, one oxygen -2, so copper will be +2, 0, 0 elemental form, one oxygen -2, and hydrogen +2 for 2 hydrogen atoms. Copper atoms undergo reduction because there is a decrease in oxidation state of copper from +2 to 0, and nitrogen atom undergoes oxidation as its oxidation state increases from -3 to 0. Question number 15, A part, define oxidation number or oxidation state. Oxidation state or oxidation number is defined as the number of charges an atom will have in a molecule or a compound. The elements that show an increase in oxidation number are oxidized, and the elements that show a decrease in oxidation number are reduced. B part is find the oxidation state of nitrogen in the following compounds. So oxidation number or oxidation state of a compound is the sum of oxidation number of all the atom must be 0. This is the rule of finding oxidation state of an element. So we will write the formula NO2 for nitrogen dioxide, and we have to find out the oxidation state of nitrogen. So we will just write oxidation number of nitrogen plus we have 2 oxygen atoms, so we will write 2, and in bracket oxidation number of oxygen, and the sum of charges must be 0. So one oxygen oxidation state is -2, multiplying it by 2 will give us -4, and when we will shift -4 at the equality other side of the equality sign, it will be +4. So oxidation state of for nitrogen in nitrogen dioxide is +4. Oxidation number of nitrogen in nitrous oxide. The sum of oxidation number must be 0. And we have 2 nitrogen atoms, so we will write 2 oxidation number of nitrogen plus oxidation number of oxygen equal to 0, and we have to find out for nitrogen. So one oxygen is -2, and this -2 is for 2 nitrogen atoms. So we will we will divide this plus 2 by 2 to get the oxidation number of one nitrogen atom, because plus 2, because if you will shift this minus 2 at the other side of equality sign, this become plus 2. So this plus 2 is oxidation number of two nitrogen atoms, and for one nitrogen atom we will divide 2 we will divide the terms by 2 on both sides, which will give the oxidation number of one nitrogen atom as plus 1. Third one is oxidation number of nitrogen in nitrogen trioxide. So we will do the same method. Two nitrogen atoms are there. So 2 into oxidation number of nitrogen, plus there are 3 oxygen atoms. So 3 into oxidation states of oxygen. One oxygen is minus 2. So plus 3 into minus 2 is minus 6, shifting it at the other side, plus 6. But this plus 6 is for two nitrogen atoms. We need for one nitrogen atom. So by dividing the terms by 2 will give us plus 3. So oxidation state for nitrogen in this case is plus 3. Question number 16, we have to find out the oxidation state of sulfur in the following compounds. The method is totally same like as we did for the nitrogen atom. We will do the same. So let us take the first part, hydrogen sulfide. Sum of oxidation number must be 0. So oxidation number of sulfur plus, and we have two hydrogen atoms, so plus 2 into oxidation number of hydrogen. One hydrogen is plus 1 and the 2 will give us plus 2. And by shifting it at the other side of the equality sign, oxidation state of sulfur will be minus 2. B part, the oxidation number of sulfur in sulfurous acid. H2SO4 is sulfuric acid and H2SO3 is sulfurous acid. We have two hydrogen atoms, so 2 into oxidation number of hydrogens plus oxidation number of sulfur, and we have 3 oxygen atoms, so plus 3 into oxidation number of oxygen. Oxidation number of one hydrogen is plus 1 because it is present in group number 1 of the periodic table, and that of oxygen is minus 2. Minus 2 into 3 is minus 6, and minus 6 plus 2 will give us answer minus 4, and by shifting it at the other side is plus 4. So oxidation state for sulfur in sulfurous acid is plus 4. Third part is oxidation number of sulfur in sodium thiosulfide, sodium thiosulfate, sulfide, sorry. Na2H2O7 is sodium thiosulfate and this is sodium thiosulfide. The sum of oxidation number must be 0 and we have 2 sodium, so 2 into oxidation number of sodium, 2 into oxidation state of sulfur, and 3 into oxidation number of oxygen. Net charge must be 0 or net oxidation number must be 0. For sodium present in group number 1 plus 1, oxygen minus 2, 3 2s are 6, minus 6 plus 2 is minus 4, and shifting it at the other side plus 4. But this plus 4 is for 2 sulfurs, dividing it by 2 will give us the oxidation number of one sulfur atom, which is plus 2. Question number 17, define oxidizing and reducing agents. What is oxidizing agent? An oxidizing agent is the reactant containing the element that is reduced. Reduced means gain electron in a chemical reaction. For example, a reducing agent is the reactant containing the element that is oxidized, means only one element can oxidize. And in this reaction, you can see sodium from 0 is converted into plus 1. So sodium undergoes oxidation by losing electron, and chlorine from 0 is converted into minus 1. So chlorine undergoes reduction. So sodium, as it oxidized by losing electron, will act as a reducing agent, and chlorine, as it reduced, undergoes reduction by gaining electron or by increasing its oxidation number, will act as a oxidizing agent. So the element which undergoes or an oxidizing agent is the reactant containing the element that is reduced gain electron, and the opposite will be reducing agent. A reducing agent is the reactant containing the element that is oxidized, means loses electrons in a chemical reaction. So example, you can quote the same for oxidizing and as well as for the reducing agents, because sodium get oxidized and will act as a reducing agent, and chlorine got reduced and will act as an oxidizing agent. So a reducing agent is the reactant containing the element that is oxidized, loses electron in the chemical reaction. For example, in the reaction between sodium and chlorine to form sodium chloride. B part is we have to identify oxidizing and reducing agent. First of all, we will assign oxidation state to all the atoms, and that is sulfur from -2 into 0, hydrogen from +1, in +1 same, chlorine from 0 to -1. So you can see chlorine undergoes reduction because its oxidation state decreases from 0 to -1, and chlorine will act as an oxidizing agent, while sulfur oxidation state increases from -2 to 0. So sulfur undergoes oxidation, and this whole molecule, not only sulfur. If you are going to talk about the oxidizing and reducing agent, you have to consider the complete compound. So as sulfur in hydrogen sulfide is oxidized from -2 to 0, but we will say that hydrogen sulfide complete compound will act as a reducing agent. Ferrous chloride will react with chlorine to form ferric chloride. So you can see that iron from +2 undergoes oxidation because its oxidation state increases from +2 to +3, and chlorine undergoes reduction because its oxidation state decreases from 0 to -1. So since oxidation number of chlorine is decreased from 0 to -3 for 3 chlorine atom. One is -1, for 3 is -3. This is -3, not uh, 3 molecules are there. There is no need of plus. So this is -3. Therefore, reduction takes place. In above reaction, chlorine is reduced. Thus, chlorine is oxidizing agent, and iron is oxidized and will act as a reducing agent. I told you not only iron, the complete molecule, iron chloride, will act as a reducing agent. Potassium iodide when react with chlorine to give potassium chloride and iodine. So since oxidation number of chlorine is decreased from 0 to -1, therefore a reduction takes place. In above reaction, chlorine is reduced. Thus chlorine is oxidizing agent, and the oxidation number of iodine increases from -1 to 0. Therefore oxidation takes place in above reaction. Iodine is oxidized, and thus potassium iodide, not only iodine, a complete molecule of potassium iodide will act as a reducing agent. Question number 18, hydrogen peroxide reacts with silver oxide and lead. Oxidation state of lead is 2. Is 2 in bracket means that oxidation state of lead is +2. So according to the following reactions, we have to identify in these two reactions that either hydrogen peroxide, H2O2 is called hydrogen peroxide, That hydrogen peroxide is oxidized or it got reduced in the following reaction. So we will do the same thing. First, we will assign oxidation state to all the elements, and then we have to identify that either its oxidation state increases or decreases. So you can see that one silver is plus one. We have two silver plus two, oxygen minus two, oxygen minus two, one oxygen minus two. For two, then it will be minus one. So same as here, silver zero. Then you can see that in this hydrogen peroxide reaction, hydrogen peroxide, if we will see the oxidation state of oxygen molecule is minus you can say it is minus 4 for two oxygen atoms and minus 2 for one oxygen atom. So for minus 2 or minus 4, oxygen is converted into 0. 0 is greater than minus 2 or minus 4. So as the oxidation number of oxygen increases in hydrogen peroxide, so oxidation takes place, and it means that hydrogen peroxide will then act as a reducing agent. So hydrogen peroxide converts silver oxide into silver. Silver goes undergo reduction because from plus one of one silver is converted into zero. That is decrease in oxidation number, which is reduction. So silver undergoes reduction. Oxidation number of reducing atom, silver changes from plus 2 to 0. Decrease in oxidation number is called reduction. So as I told you that oxygen from minus 2 is converted into 0, that is oxygen is oxidizes and the whole molecule will act as a reducing agent. In second case, hydrogen, you can see one oxygen is minus 2, so two oxygens are 4 and one hydrogen is 2 and for one hydrogen is 1 and for two hydrogen it will be plus 2 and we have to balance 4, so we have to write here 4 hydrogen peroxide. Like this must be 2 hydrogen peroxide, so 2 2 are 4, 4 hydrogen atoms will be there. Excuse me. So hydrogen peroxide converts lead sulfide into lead sulfate. Sulfur goes under oxidation because from minus 2 it is converted into plus 6. It undergoes plus 6. Sulfur undergoes oxidation. Oxidation number of oxidizing atoms sulfur changes from plus 2 to plus 6 and increase in oxidation number is called oxidation. So we can say that sulfur, as it is oxidizes, so will act as a reducing agent. And oxygen, as I told you, in case of this compound, that is the hydrogen peroxide. In this case, we can say that oxygen from minus 1, this is not minus 2, minus 1, one oxygen is minus 1, oxygen, one oxygen minus 1 for 2 is minus 2, and this will be plus 1 for one hydrogen and 2 for two hydrogen atoms. So oxygen for minus 1 or for one atom or for 2 minus 2 is converted into for minus 1 it is converted into minus 2, so it decreases because minus 1 is bigger than minus 2. So oxygen in this case undergoes reduction or reduces, so will act as an oxidizing agent. In previous case, oxygen, hydrogen peroxide acts as a reducing agent, while in this case, hydrogen peroxide acts as a oxidizing agent. I told you this is minus 1 because in peroxide oxidation state of oxygen is minus 1, for 2 is minus 2 because 2 into minus 1 will be minus 2. This is minus 2. this must be inside -1 and then 2 -2. This is +1 and multiply by 2 will give us +2. Okay, there is this, it needs some correction. So from 1 -1 it converted into -2. -1 -2 -1 is bigger than -2. So this decrease in oxidation state is called reduction, and hydrogen peroxide will act as a reducing agent. So dear students, hope you understand all these questions. Think tank of this exercise is left. Inshallah, we will do the think tank in our next lecture, and we will also start the next chapter, number 8, in our next lecture. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.